So I'm Robotic. I'll be leading the AMA today with Whalecoin Chat. And today we've got Spaceman Bob, who is representing for ForeverPump. Would you like to just introduce yourself, Spaceman Bob?
Yeah, sure. So, hey, Spaceman Bob here. So, we're basically, today I'll be showing you guys a bit around ForeverPump, which is, basically it's a rebase token. And then what we've done is we've wanted to create a community around it. And we basically went ahead and developed the whole NFT marketplace concept. We're going to be bringing out characters. We're going to be, we're going to be trying to bring out some engaging content to make this a real fun community around this token. And that's
Thank you.
Yeah, that's basically the introduction. And then we've got a team of we've got 4 guys, which are the kind of core team. We've all worked together before on various projects at various different points in time. So we have a good track record in terms of the team's been no member of the team has ever been part of a type of rug pull or anything like this. We're just out there trying to bring out fun tokens and building communities around them, things like this.
Yeah, and I've been in touch with a noob who I think showed dev for quite some time, and I know that he does a lot of legitimate projects. They're certainly not scams. They run for a decent amount of time and they're successful. And he's a good dev, so I trust him. So that's a good thing. Could you explain firstly your tokenomics, just so we can see start the basics?
Yeah, so so I'll talk about tokenomics and then a bit about the distribution also prior to launch. So the tokenomics, it's really fun and simple. So basically it's a 10% total tax, 1% to the ecosystem, 2% buyback, 3% liquidity pool, 4% to market. Right. That's essentially it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 total of 10.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, it's really important to have the liquidity, I feel, for the larger investors that like to see a lot of liquidity and also a good audit. I feel like kind of they're the two things that, whale investors would look for in a token. So it's nice to see that there. So you were going to explain about the private sale and pre-sale, were you?
Yes, I was going to say, so we started this out with a private sale right at the beginning, and then now we're at the pre-sale phase. So if you go into our message after, you can get this as a recap, but basically, if we have so 10% of the total tokens went to the private sale, then another there'll be 70% that goes to the pre-sale. There's going to be marketing reserves of 5%, development of 8%, and burning of 5%. Those burnings will be locked, and then airdrops and giveaways of 2%.
Right, great. And just to touch upon kind of the private sale, did the private sailors get any extra tokens for getting in at an early stage and showing faith in the project?
Yes, depending on, so we raised 30 BNB during the private sale, and so that went really fast. If you got in with the first 15 BNB, then I believe you got a 25% bonus, and if you got in with the next slot of 15 BNB, then you got a 15% bonus.
And could you just explain about the actual pre-sale, like what platform is it and what's the hard cap, and if you just explain more about that, please.
So the pre-sale is happening today at 5 o'clock UTC. So that is in about let me tell you that, 1 hour and 50 minutes. It's happening on the Pink Sale Finance, which is relatively new, but already seen as a very legitimate tool to kind of release new projects on.
Yeah, it is.
It's essentially, I think, all of our projects going forward are going to be probably through this until something better comes forward. So obviously we're going to be locking the liquidity and everything right after. But so the soft cap, the pre-sale is going to be 75 BNB. The hard cap is going to be 150. We got, so in order to take part in the pre-sale, you need to be selected on our whitelist. And in order to be on the whitelist, you need to go through a little, like do a couple things on sweepstakes. If you haven't done so already, we will definitely make sure that you guys get the link, or else you can go to our website, foreverpump.co.in. And there's a link to their to the pre-sale whitelist right there. I think that's about it for the pre-sale. Yeah, so it's today at 5 o'clock. Make sure you fill out you joined the whitelist before. That's we'll be launching right after the pre-sale fills. We think it's going to fill up fast. So we've got some really strong buzz around here. A lot of I can tell you that my messages are full of people asking me to put them on the pre-sale list. I mean, we even got to a point today where we've got AMA groups who are basically contacting us and saying, okay, you can do an AMA on our group, and we'll just take the pre-sale slot. So it's we're really looking forward to it, and we've got it set up so that we're going to have different kind of we're going to have a first round of the pre-sale where we select a group of people from the whitelist, get them going, and then as it kind of fills up, then we'll launch a second round, and so we'll have a couple increments, and then if anything's left at the end, we still haven't met the 150, which I doubt, then we'll open up to the public at that point.
And has the whitelist closed now, or can you still do the sweep widget and participate?
Sorry?
Has the whitelist closed? Like, kind of, have you finalized it?
It's open till 5.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so you can still complete the sweep widget, and there's a chance you'll get on the whitelist. That link is actually in our news channel to the sweep widget, so you can fill it in there, and I'm pretty sure it's in the pinned messages in this group, but we can repost it again at the end of the call, then people are aware of that. I'm quite excited because it's a low hard cap as well, 150 BNB, and it sounds like there's going to be quite a lot of buy pressure. I've seen the group quite active. I'm pretty confident there's not many bots in your chat. I'd say like it's organic, real people by the looks of it. I'm really impressed with the growth in the last days. I've been following some other projects, and they've not got the level of growth that you've had. So the marketing you're doing is clearly working. Having said that, can we touch upon the marketing strategy? I mean, obviously you've done some Telegram marketing prior to the launch. I can see you've advertised in groups, etc. What is planned for like kind of the launch day and beyond that?
Okay, so basically, for launch the day exactly, we're going to be doing, I think, a lot of the typical marketing things around the Reddits, around getting some crypto tweets. We're going to have at least one celebrity tweeting around it, and we're going to be bringing out, once again, to create more engaging marketing content. We're going to do stuff around NFTs. Really try and build that kind of that little NFT world about it. We want people, we even got our stickers in the group, got an animated sticker collection that's going to be growing. And so the whole idea is, we want people out there. We want them chilling with our animated stickers. We want them, posting their NFTs, doing some fun stuff around that. Really trying to create something more engaging. And then, so we're going to be applying to obviously be listed on CMC and CoinGecko. We're going to be doing some stuff around DexTool. So that's more, formal marketing, paid for type of stuff.
Just on the CMC and CoinGecko, are you planning on doing any fast tracks services?
Hey, let's not. I don't want to talk too quickly.
Sure.
but yeah, don't worry. We're doing everything possible to be up there to kind of make you guys, the investors, make it worth your while.
Sure, of course. Yeah. And just, you mentioned NFTs. Could you touch upon that kind of your idea with that? There's a lot of tokens doing NFTs at the moment. It's an up and coming thing. What is your vision with that? How is it going to be utilized within ForeverPump?
Yeah, so the first thing is that, so the kind of bare minimum is we're going to be doing some giveaway NFTs, and then we're going to be doing some NFTs that people can go on and purchase. Any kind of purchases of the NFTs goes back into the project in terms of buyback and stuff like this, or in terms of marketing. And then what we want to do is we want to create an ecosystem around this. So the ecosystem that we're looking to, and this is still a bit like fresh territory, is we want to create a NFT generation website. So basically some place where you can go and generate some NFT. So, we can, for example, change sunglasses, pirate eyes, and stuff like this, but all in the kind of Forever Pump theme. So, which is right now a kind of, that kind of pixelated theme. And then we want to, if it goes well, we're going to be creating some mini games, which will hopefully utilize those NFTs. So what we'll probably do is create some kind of properties around them that you can use in the games. And then the kind of taking a step further in terms of design, what we'd like to get to is I'm already in contact with some 3D modelers, because right now I'm doing a lot of the design. And I'm, I'll get creative, but I had to look at Blender and stuff, and I quickly understood that it's not my skill set. And so what we're going to be doing is basically getting them to generate some 3D ones around it, and getting them to move forward like that, and kind of create some more. Like those pancake swap bunnies and stuff like this, but hopefully add another layer, which is the animation behind it. And then, and so that's kind of those are like those three pillars regarding the NFTs. And with regards to the ecosystem itself, we're thinking of building in like lottery games and a bit like maybe some type of casino style stuff. So it's going to be, we've got a lot of ideas around it, and we've got this 1% which goes to the ecosystem in order to be able to go out and hire a React developer to go and build something for us quickly.
And what kind of timescale do you think is realistic for the ecosystem to be developed?
So I think that, we can start doing so for example, the lottery stuff, I would see that coming out a month and a half.
Yeah.
That's something, for example, that I have the skill set to build. So it's I'm quite confident in having the ability to build that. It's actually, I've actually started building it. So that's why and then we also I'd like to bring like an actual swap tool into our website, so that people don't need to go to PancakeSwap or anything, or PooCoin or something, to actually just be able to go on to ForeverCoin, ForeverPump.co.in, and then just trade right in there without going anywhere else.
Awesome. So I think you touched upon some of your skills there. So I'm guessing you've got some development skills. Could you explain, like, kind of, you mentioned is it 4 people in your core team? Could you explain more about what their skill sets are and, what their experience is? I know you've done projects before, but what do the core members have as their skill set and experience? Yeah,
it's a great question. So the first thing, let's take it, the first 2 are, so Anoop, who's a contract dev. So his skill set is A in Solidity, and then B on a kind of he's very much an initiator of projects. So he has a good eye out on the market in terms of what's going on, starts creating projects, and then invites people to come and join him. And then we've got Nikisha, who's she's also, that's a contract dev right there, who's also gets involved in the promotional side of things, has some good links, some good hookups there. Then we got Maxid, who's he's actually a Instagram celebrity. He's actually a bodybuilder. And
nice.
he does this crypto stuff on the side. So he's a crypto marketer actually on the side. And so he's got like 100K plus followers on Instagram. And so he's got already his own influence, and he knows he has some pretty deep links in the Binance chain marketing industry that's out there. And then there's myself, who is kind of, I do two things. I do one, which is kind of, I'll have, for example, I built this website, albeit using WordPress, so it's cheating. Or else I do a lot of React development, Web 3.0, so more the front end side of things. So like you'll have Anoop, who's the contract dev, and then I'll be on the front end. And then the other thing is I do all what's community management, community engagement. That's why you're listening to me now and not them. It's I'm the kind of the voice.
Yeah, and you're very good at it as well. So you're a man of many talents. I like that. Yeah. And it's good to hear that you've got React skills, because that would be needed for an NFT marketplace or this like kind of ecosystem that you mentioned. React's very quick. So that's really good to hear that you've got those skills. And yeah, the WordPress website is what many projects in crypto use. So it's a good starting point. But yeah, I think long term you probably could do with getting a custom website really. But it is a good website. So just touching upon the security of the project, is there an audit?
There is an audit. So that audit was done by Interfi this morning. The contract is already public because it's a pre-sale, so you guys can go, and if you don't trust the wallet, you can actually go and read the contract itself. There is one thing which is important to note, is that this is a rebase token. And when you have a rebase token, you have two choices. The first one is you can either rebase automatically or manually. There are pros and cons to each way. We have decided to go for a manual rebase. So that reason being is that when you have an automatic rebase, it's essentially you can you'll say like, okay, rebase every minute or every 10 minutes or every hour or something, and then no matter what happens, you will be rebasing every minute, every hour. And so that leads to a really serious exponential kind of graph, which just like actually can be a little too scary. Because if you're investing in it, and all it is this exponential growth, you're going, uh-oh, am I that last buy? Whereas with manual, you can control that a bit more, and so you'll have a growth curve on your graph, but it won't be so aggressive as to scare people away. It'll be like a nice green curve. But the cost of having a manual rebase functionality is unfortunately that you cannot renounce the contract. So yes, to kind of countermeasure that, we're audited. The contract is available before launch. We're a team which has we've launched many projects together and separately. Anoop has a great track record, never rugged. Well, actually, nobody in the team has ever done that. So it's so that's only, we want to be upfront with that so that people don't start going, why isn't it renounced? Obviously the liquidity will be locked. Yeah, and you're, I don't know if we didn't cover kind of the basics of rebasing. I don't know if your community is fully aware of
Yeah,
what that
if you could
consists of.
explain, we have had an AMA from Forever more, but it'd be good to hear about it again, just for anyone that has not heard about it before.
Yeah, I'll give the kind of the very top line view, which is essentially that normally with with kind of traditional tokens, what happens is that you have a fixed supply of tokens, and then the maximum thing you can do with those tokens is burn. And so you just say like, okay, we're going to be 5% of whatever comes back to us is burned or something like this. Whereas the big difference is that with rebasing, essentially what you do is you have an elastic supply, which means that you in general, what it means is that you start with a big number and then over time you reduce that number. But what's important to note is that every time that a rebase happens, you might lose out in the amount of tokens that you have. So your total token count might reduce, but the price will proportionally increase, which means that let's say you have $1,000 investment in there. When the rebase happens, your token count will reduce, the price will increase, you will still have $1,000. So that's kind of the big thing. So we knew, people get scared when they start seeing, oh wait, why am my token count decreasing? That's totally normal. The token count is decreasing because every time we go and rebase, the target price is $1.5 million. And so every time we rebase, we incrementally go towards that target price. And that's what allows us to have this nice green curve without it being too aggressive.
Awesome. And when do you think we'll reach $1.5 million? Is there like kind of a date in mind, or is it just as and when? Because it's a manual rebase. I guess it could be any given period, or what do you think?
Look, that is a very good question. I want to kind of say I hope it's slow, because that means that the slower it takes, the most the least likely it is that we've had to rebase that many times. Ultimately, rebasing is something which happens in order to make the graph look green. And so, I just want to make this very clear that when you guys, so if you get selected in the pre-sale, we're gonna be launching at 100K market cap. Okay, so that's kind of the base. With rebase tokens, what's important is don't look at the price, because the price, the price is the price, and we can shift the price just as we can shift the supply. But what we can't shift is the market cap. So the important figure to look at when you buy is, okay, what market cap did I buy? Not what price I bought into. I'm sorry, I lost my thought on what I was saying before that, but I thought that was important to mention.
No, you're definitely right. Yeah, and just somebody on Twitter is asking, why did you choose a rebase token?
Because we think it's a great way to continue to bring new investors in. We think it's it's a fun way. A lot of people because what happens is you generally have launches. You have people that were in the pre-sale and early investors that will just something will hit, I don't know, $500,000, $1 million market cap, and then you'll get a bunch of sellers. And a lot of tokens just die out from there because other people look and they're just like, I'm not buying into this. It just lost 30 or 40% in value. Look how red this graph is. Whereas actually that's not what you have in front of you is actually a really good opportunity, because it's there's a team that's been behind it and that's proven legitimate. But just because of the color of the graph, people get scared. So here the idea is with rebase token, we can actually kind of counter that and say, oh, actually, look, the graph is pretty good. So we're hoping that brings in a kind of that stops a certain amount of FUD and allows people to kind of come in. And once again, this is all about creating this community. We want to grow that community. And so we want more people to come in, to take fun, to have fun, to, you know, share our NFTs, hopefully make some money off them by selling them.
I think like kind of it may be important just to make some clear messages, you know, in the Telegram. I'm sure you already have, that this is a rebase token and explaining it, because I'm just thinking if people come in from say it gets trending on CMC or trending on Dex tools, you know, and they ape into it, like, and if it like kind of decreases like the value or something, then the you know, at least you understand it and they can see clearly in Telegram. I'm sure you've probably thought about that.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be communicating around the fact that it is a rebase token. I mean, I think it's the number one thing we say. Now, I think what is something which is, it's you know, I think that a lot of people still don't understand what rebasing means. So yeah, we have kind of a plan to handle any kind of FUD that comes out from people suddenly going, you know, oh, my token supply has gone down, this is a scam. You know, to be able to kind of respond to that with a formal response. Actually, what's happening is the rebase is just happening, and we'll make sure to notify people and things like that.
Okay, and just to touch upon the launch, is there any sniper bot measures that you can share, or anything that you maybe don't want to share if you want to keep it a secret?
Let's keep it a secret.
Just to ask as well, is there a blacklist function in the contract?
That is a good question. I actually don't know the answer to that.
Sure, no problem. I mean, we probably can find out.
We can probably check together, or else let me see if I can. You know what? I will write to Anoop a blacklist in the contract. Let's see what happens.
Sure. And just whilst we're there, can we touch upon the max transaction size in the max wallet if you have that to hand?
I actually don't think we have any.
No, there's no max wallet or transaction.
No, because honestly, there is we've done projects in the past where we've had that, and ultimately, you know, whether you sell in one go or whether you sell in two goes, if you're selling, you're selling. So it's you know, and once again, like the thing is, like, in order to do that in an effective way, like let's say you put in like 0.5% of the supply as your max transaction, like whether it's there or not, like what we're allowing people to do is we have a maximum 2 BNB buy-in at pre-sale.
Yeah.
Which means that it's going to be like the expectation is that kind of the holdings is quite spread out. And quite so that there's not too much so that the power doesn't sit in one big hand, you know. And yeah, because honestly, from what we've seen in the past is that, you know, it's if you put in a maximum % on a transaction, well, the only thing that's going to happen is like the person's going to press the button twice instead of once.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. There's another question from Twitter here. It's how do you stand out and ensure longevity of the token?
That is a good question. And my answer is as follows. The first thing is we rely on the community. Look, we can launch this token. We cannot decide on what happens after that. What we can do is we can count on our community and we can count on our marketing powers, which is why we're happy to have, you know, people on board who are quite well linked into the marketing community. We have things that, you know, we're going to be doing everything possible to get listed on CMC, on CoinGecko quickly, things like this. We're going to be building out the ecosystem around it in order to try and create some more engaging things. We've got the NFTs, which are there to kind of create some kind of fun around the community so that people stay engaged.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's ultimately, like, we're going to be trying our best to kind of keep engaged with you. the question is, are you guys going to be keeping engaged with us?
Yeah, it's all about the community, is it, being engaged with you, and sharing that experience with you. And I suppose touching upon like kind of the tokenomics of the token, like the rebase element, it means that it's more likely to trend on DEX tools and CMC, I think, because the algorithm, part of what it's looking for is the price going up, but also buy pressure as well, and the number of interactions with the web page. So there's a good chance it could trend, which will bring in more buys potentially. So that's, I think, a definite positive about the rebase element.
Yeah, I think there's a couple things in terms of, if you look at our, like, I think it's top gainers in CMC. I mean, you like a couple weeks ago, it started popping up, like, oh my God, 25% thousand gains in the last 24 hours. And those are all rebase tokens.
Yeah.
So at some point, CMC is going to go and be like, "Oh crap, we need to rethink our how we're doing this tracking. How we're doing this tracking." But right now, they haven't done that. So that's how you get these tokens tracking. So there is some. We are hoping to kind of be able to kind of get into those CMC algos, and those CoinGecko algos. But and ultimately, we're also doing what we can to potentially to accelerate that process. And then for us, it's all about as long as we get people that are buying into the token, then the thing is our marketing wallet grows, and as long as the marketing wallet grows, we're gonna just be out there like basically doing marketing. It's so that's we know where to go for the marketing. The question is, will we have the funds for it? And the idea is that the reason we've done these pre-sales is so that we can start strong in order to continue.
Yeah, and I think as well, like kind of with it being a manual rebase, you can make the percentage seem more believable on CMC, because some of these rebases have insanely high percentages of growth. But if it's a manual, it can be slightly more realistic and look almost organic. So I think that's a definite plus point of this one.
Yes, that's the idea. Is that is that, as you said, you used the right word. It's we want to make it look really healthy, really organic, and look, the last thing I'm going to invest in is a token which has gone up 25,000% in the last day, because I know that goes. But if there's something which is consistently going up, and I'm going, okay, all right. This is good. This is steady. This is beating, it's beating what BNB is doing, what Bitcoin is doing. So my money can grow here a bit quicker. And then I'm on it.
Yeah. And there's a huge 4% marketing tax. Have you got any like wallets for marketing funds, or have you just decided to take the tax approach?
What do you mean? Sorry.
Have you allocated any tokens to marketing, or are you just doing a marketing tax?
No, so we do have that's the distribution that we covered earlier. I think it's I forget what the number is. Give me a second. I just need to go onto the group. Distribution. So there'll be marketing reserve of 5% of the supply.
Okay, sorry, I must have not heard that. Yeah.
That's fine, don't worry.
In terms of kind of spending that, is there plans to spend the tokens, like sell into the supply, or are you going to hold off on that?
Oh, I think we'll hold off on that as much as possible. It's we'd like to, we rather spend BNB than sell supply. That selling a marketing wallet that's kind of not being touched is stronger than one that is. It means that
exactly.
But yeah, that's the whole idea, and I think that what we're going to be trying to do is to, if we do need to spend from our marketing wallet, it can come from initiatives that pay out in that token.
Yeah, sure.
So contests and stuff like this, because the kind of the bad situation is when you sell into BNB. because there you're auto killing yourself, right? You're shooting yourself in the foot. You're selling your own token, which is therefore dumping your price.
Yeah.
So what we rather do is say, hey guys, here's some of our token, and then okay, we distribute it to what we would have sold in BNB. We distribute to 100 people in our token. Maybe 20%, 50% sell, but a couple will hold, and so it means that we're not as weak.
Yeah, and just while we're on the subject to marketing again, a lot of kind of tokens do market towards Asia, to China, even though there's been a ban on crypto there is still investment coming from that region, from India, from South Korea, from South America. Is the plans for kind of international marketing kind of in your budget, or you mainly focus on America and Europe, or?
No, so that's a really good question. So we already have I think it's our Chinese community that's up. That's already got 1,000 members in it. Okay. I think we have a couple. I'm not sure that this is the part which I haven't been too involved in, but we are planning on growing. I was involved in we're going to be doing an AMA with a Vietnamese community. I was actually going to do it today, but it's too late in their time zone right now. So we're gonna have to do that in the next 24, 48 hours. And then there's some stuff that we can do with Persian communities, which they also market to Arabic communities. And we've got some guys in Brazil that kind of take care of the Portuguese community. So we're definitely aiming more than Western Europe and America.
Interesting. I mean, I have some contacts kind of in South Korea, Persia, China, so probably could help out in terms of the community building and give you some advice there of what to do. So it sounds really promising. I think at this stage we'll open up to the community. There is a contest today, by the way. There's going to be giving 5 NFTs away from ForeverPump, and we're also going to give away 0.2 BNB. And today this is going to be for questions. I've already asked some of the Twitter questions, which will have won already. So if anyone got any questions from the community that they'd like to ask. Anything at all? Well, the silence, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Hey guys, just want to say, I'm looking forward to the project. One of my questions was actually answered on Twitter, so yeah, I've nothing further to add except for good luck.
Awesome.
Thanks, man. I don't know what we can't really say much to that except thank you and good luck to you. I hope you get selected for the whitelist. I hope you've taken care of that you've applied to be on there.
Sounds good, mate. Sounds good.
Yeah, I think kind of maybe just touch upon kind of why we should invest and just remind us of the launch time and what to do, where to be, any competitions that are running throughout the launch so we can get involved in the shilling contest, etc.
So first thing, the launch is at 5 o'clock. So the pre-sale launch is at 5 o'clock UTC today. There is in order to take part in that, you need to be selected in the whitelist. In order to be selected in the whitelist, you need to go and fill out the sweepstakes. I think those links we mentioned before are in the website or are in the chat. Or else you can go to our website, foreverpump.co.in. For those that wonder, that is ForeverPump coin, just .co.in. So we're going to be launching, I think, within 24 hours after the pre-sale is filled. There's a soft cap of 75, a hard cap of 150. We're going to be going through the whitelist in iterations and kind of rounds. So What else? We've got a bunch of marketing planned for launch. We've got a very strong team that has a track record, both individually and together, in delivering projects that grow. Yeah, we just, the whole NFT side of things, we just hope to create some kind of community around this, and really have some fun. Yeah, and I think, this pre-sale will be on Pink Sale, and which is the liquidity will obviously be locked. This is a rebase token. And yeah, we're hoping that we can build out the ecosystem around this.
Awesome. Just to touch upon the launch, I think it may be quite soon to the pre-sale. The pre-sale is going to be 5 p.m. UTC. Anoop mentioned launching quite soon after then, maybe within the hour.
Yes, that is that. But what the reason I said within 24 hours is because I don't want to promise you guys something and then not deliver on that. So what I can say is that it will be within 24 hours. It might very well be within an hour. I mean, if the pre-sale fills up super quick and we're ready to go on the marketing side, and we'll launch.
Sure. Yeah, that's understandable. Well, I'm very excited for the launch. I'll be there and I'll be buying. So it sounds like a promising project, and I know the devs, so I think it'll be very safe. And yeah, I wish you the best of luck. And thank you for spending the time to come today to chat to the community. It's been a pleasure. And we will draw the NFT prizes from the Twitter questions. There's quite a few questions on Twitter. We've kind of covered all the Twitter questions, so we can draw them together, me and you, Spaceman, and choose the winners there. That'd be fine.
That sounds great. No, thank you guys for having us. Thank you guys for having me on this. Always happy to work with you guys. I've heard a lot of great stuff from Anoop. So keep going. Keep building your community. And just let them know about ForeverPump.
Yeah, and feel free to come into the community and let us know the progress of the project. When you there's exciting updates, or you want to let us know something, then feel free to pop in. And obviously you're in the chat anyway now, so you can message and join in as you want.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that.
Okay then. Well, does anyone else got any other questions before we close it up? No. Okay. Well, thanks, guys. All right, we're going to close the arm now. Thank you for that. Bye.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Bob.